Hello and welcome back to Scale Joe Dim Reviews. This is part 3 of our K-Brake Majesta Rebuild, and as you can see we have the body shell in front of us and we are going to do some sanding today. So we're going to move these out of the way and we're going to take a look at this. Now I've got some 600 grit sandpaper here. This is 600 European, and we're going to start going at the side bits here. See if we can get rid of some of this glue. Now I am planning to do the whole body shell, probably take it down to quite a matte finish, but I just want to get rid of this glue, otherwise it will show up as we primer it and stuff. So as with all good paint work, the finish depends on the preparation. So now I've given it a bit of a sand. It's a lot smoother than it was. I am going to keep going at it for a little bit longer because I can see some shiny bits, which is where the glue is still in its untouched form. You can just about see it in the light there, the reflections. I don't want to go too deep because I'm going to end up taking away the door creases. Obviously whatever's left I can just keep primering and then sanding until I can get it completely flat, and we can go from there. But I'm going to start on the rest of the body here as well, on the doors, to get rid of that shininess, because the paint isn't going to like to stick to that either. Now I'm only tacking this up, I'm not going full on it, I'm not putting a lot of pressure down. I'm using this 600 grit as I mentioned before. All I'm trying to do is just take the top level shine off and get it to a point where we know that the paint is going to stick. We can see some issues down here, but this isn't going to be too much of an issue because that will be hidden by the rear spoiler, so I'm not too fussed about that. However, the paint in this light here, that we're going to have to deal with that. That's going to have some attention to it. Okay, so we've got most of the body shell down, just like that. It's nice and rough to the feel. That's quite nice. I've not gone too deep. I've not put a lot of pressure on. Obviously, I'm going to go through the pillars as well. Now, it is worth noting that obviously I've not gone completely down on that massively hard. This will have a side skirt on, so it will be hidden by that. However, I do obviously want a nice flat surface to glue the part onto, which is why I've gone down as far as I can. So there we have it. The body is sanded down quite nicely. I will redo a few parts off camera, but you can see we've got rid of that shininess. It's nice and tacky, and the only shiny bits are down there, the bits that we're not going to use. They'll be covered up by the other body kits. I'm not bothering with those too much. I'm going to do some cleanup on those backlights though. But now I'm going to start on the rest of the kit. So I'm going to start by removing this blue tack, which we do not need anymore. Just very gently put some pressure on the surface, just so we can take that shine off the top. There we go, nice and tacky. I'll quickly wash the bits off as well, just to get any excess dirt off it. Next, now one thing I've just remembered with this kit is obviously we have 2 glass panels inside there, so I'm going to try and pop them out, depending on how much glue is on them, which does look like quite a lot. Yep, that is quite a severe amount of glue on those. I don't think they're going to come out. Oh, that one did. That's not too bad. Let's try again with this one. I'm only putting the lightest amount of pressure on what I think is the weakest point. And it seems to be going. There's always one side, isn't there, that just doesn't want to play ball. And we broke it. That absolutely sucks. Let's see if we can get the rest out. Okay, I may have to cut those out and use those as additional air dams, although it wouldn't look too bad, to be honest. So let's carry on with the sanding, just on these little detail bits. I will clear those glue parts up as well because they do look terrible. But I'm not going to worry about these inner bits here because I'm going to cut those out with a Dremel anyway. As you can see, I've started on the side mount. This is going to be the driver's side side step skirt, and before and after. Next, as always, using 600 grit, not putting a lot of pressure on at all, just letting the sandpaper do the work. It's probably looking worse than it actually is. There's a lot of dust coming off this, but that's all I want to do. I just want to get rid of that shine. And there it is. That's the kit sanded. I'm going to do some repair work to these lenses, get them cleaned up, and then move on to the chassis and the interior. What I will do though is I'll be putting the front and rear bumpers and the side skirts on. I prefer to do the body all as one thing, except for the wing mirrors, of course, because they're glued to the window. That ensures basically that everything is the same colour, and it looks a little bit more moulded on as well. So as mentioned, there is still a bit of cleanup to go on this body shell around the headlights and the tail lights and things like that. However, it is basically there. We will start on the chassis and the interior next, but for this episode I'm going to call it a day. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.